The Olympics are beautiful today. Really taking them in from this nice view up here. A topic that's kind of come up a lot more now that the market's moving a lot faster than it was last year are inspections and waiving pre-inspections and those kind of aspects. Last year's market had the benefit, since it was so slow, where I saw a lot more buyers getting inspections and fully getting to use them, controlling the timeline around them, and just being able to use that contingency. But now that we get back into a busier market, we're having to see some of the other choices that go around inspections pop up. So first off, you can put an offer in. It has an inspection. It has how long you have to get that inspection and how long to respond, and how long both sides will go back and forth after that. Some other ways that inspections are done is you can also do what's called a pre-inspection. And with a pre-inspection, the buyer asks the seller permission to go ahead and do an inspection before offers are turned in, either on a offer review date, or if they're just taking offers, you can even do it then. It's not done that way as often, just because the timeline. Usually you want to get that house under contract, so you're willing to put that inspection in. But you can do what's called a pre-inspection. And so then you book the pre-inspection before offers are due, do your inspection, and that way you write your offer with an inspection. I always suggest buyers getting an inspection, even if you waive it, getting one if you can during the transaction after offer is accepted. Just any way you can get inspection. Waiving inspection is not always, it's not recommended. So with that pre-inspection, you have held your inspection and wrote your offer, and that way you're able to go in. Obviously a pre-inspection costs, anywhere from $400 to $600, maybe a little bit more if you include a sewer scope. So hopefully with that feeling that you've committed an actual dollar value to putting an offer in the home, you've adjusted your strategy when you're writing your offer. Because that can be a cost that really adds up. And in a competitive market, you don't always get the house if someone else came with a better offer. So it's just really important you adjust all those kind of strategies with that in mind. And kind of the third other option that comes around inspections that we talked about, if you're not going to do a pre-inspection or an inspection within your offer, is sellers do provide inspections sometimes, and we're seeing it more and more. This started becoming kind of a norm around the pandemic. Sellers saw that we now need to book showing times in order to see a home. So everything had to be on a schedule, and sometimes those really desirable houses would be booked the entire day. So putting an inspection in the middle of that would cut out a lot of potential buyers from seeing the home. So they provided their seller inspection to give the opportunity for some buyers to at least have an inspection since they couldn't fit it in. And again, I'm always recommending that buyers get their own inspection. So when it comes to using a seller inspection, you should always get your own inspection, just because that's the safest way. That the inspection is not one of 10 that the seller decided to show you. I'm not saying that sellers are immoral, but that reality could exist in the market. So it's always the safest way to get your own inspection as a buyer. But in this competitive market, I have seen buyers have to make the decision on whether or not to accept a seller's offer or seller's inspection, so that they can move forward and getting their offer accepted. And one thing I never recommend is waiving inspection entirely and not having a seller inspection and just going all in without one. It's just too risky. I've also heard in some other markets, not in the local market in Seattle, but I've heard in some markets that some lenders, due to insurance reasons, are not able to back offers that have no inspections at all or waived inspection. And this was somewhere in the Midwest that I heard about it, but it's an interesting story, and I can understand how that plays in. And my last bit on inspections is that if you are not buying or selling your house right now, but instead been living in your home for 3 to 5 years or so and haven't gotten an inspection, Since it's always a good thing to do, just to update your systems and make sure they're being taken care of. No problems can come, and problems tend to happen at the worst times, whether it's the coldest day of the year or the rainiest day of the year or the hottest day of the year. So it's always good to kind of keep up to date on that and keep maintenance going on your system. So call an inspector, and if you need an inspector, feel free to reach out to me, and I can share the ones I use and they keep you up to date. And then if you are thinking about buying or selling your home, or definitely with selling, you should get an inspection before you do that. It will really help you to be able to negotiate when it comes time to looking at offers on your home, and you really knowing the value of what the home that you're selling is. Thank you. Leave a message in the DMs if you want to chat about inspections.